Welcome everyone. We'll start our lesson for this week. We're looking at LO4 learning outcome 4. As you know me, my name is Anju Sata. Please, if you have any question, drop me email anjum@ukversity.co.uk and I'll try my best to get back to you as soon as possible. In this lesson, we'll go through our LO4. So we'll start. Okay. So last lesson we cover our LO3. Previous lesson we discussed LO2, which was the internal control. We'll do a bit recap, what we learned during last two lessons. Okay, so understand the needs for the professional ethics when completing the assurance engagement. So our discussion heavily will be today is about the organization. That's quite crucial, which we need to be look around. So please, we need to make sure we'll follow these all the professional code of ethics. Okay, so lesson one, we discuss about assurance and two types of assurance. We did discuss, the auditor never give the absolute assurance. Auditor give the reasonable assurance or negative assurance. And internal control, we discuss about different types of internal control and audit. Audit means checking the accuracy in the book of account. And we'll go through ISA 500 and the type of the assurance and audit risk. Risk is the probability or the chance of happening. Higher the risk, normally we say in a business world, higher the return. So we have to make sure and audit and ethics. So please to remember ethics properly, and you need to be remember the word popular people chat in office. So some people are very famous, they carry on chatting a lot in offices. So first P, the professional behavior. Always as a professional person, we have to be keep in a professional behavior, not conflicting our biased information and working in the best interest of the public and the stakeholders theory instead of, so as we need to be draw the safeguard. So professional competencies, up to date knowledge as a professional accountant, grades carry on changing. We need to be every year, minimum 35 hours CPD, continuous professional development. Confidentiality, of course, client information not declaring to third party without their consent. That's, GDPR 2018. Integrity is mean honest. We need to be honest, never lie. And of course, integrity means in the light of the accounting standards, in the light of the audit and assurance standards. Objectivity is all about unbiased information, conflicting information, families. So your information need to be true and fair, that's in the light of. So we have 4.1, the role of professional ethics, 4.2, professional principal behaviors, 4.3, threads and the fundamentals, and we look the merit criteria. That's, is the key. The role of the professional code of ethics and the thread, how we can minimize. So it's a vital for any auditor is has they developed the reputation, because audit is under the great scrutiny after the Enron scandal. And creative accounting, some people are very creative, and that's, in case of 85 $85 a share was within the space of 3 months, it was only 15 cents a share of Enron, because that's, the mark to marketing is being used and the asset value being. So that's, we need to be true and fair in the light of, but in Anderson, the chartered firm, they not, so threads of the editors need to be draw the safeguard ethical principle. Ethic is a concern of the behaviors and trying to be ensure the editors as actually, the professional manners independent from the client. And it's a crucial that the editors both, the follow ethics. We need to be look around in the light of, and we need to prepare the following ethical guidance. Okay, so please, the difference between these, the two requirement which is become, the evident of the consider the one of the most, notorious accounting scandal recent history, which we discussed about Enron. We have a Carillion construction company, 75 million pension shortfall. That's, which we need to be think every involved in the editors in the profession, and remember, and Enron and auditors, Anderson, that's you been given the case which I just mentioned earlier. So we need to be make sure, please, we follow these, and that's promote the transparency. Ethics are the set of the moral principle. Ethics are the values in the organization and the individual and the organization in business, and the wider interest of the society need to be keep in mind as well. The ethics, the codes, and the code of conduct. Accountant work in the public interest and have the duty of the society, then the duty of the care and the strong moral value. Objective of the accounting profession is not for the sake of you look your own pocket, look around the wider interest of the stakeholders. So objective of the accounting profession is mastering the skills and the technique, developing the ethical approach, acknowledge the duty of care about the society and objective outlook, and rendering and achieving the acceptance, because that's one of the keyest problem we have. We need to be look around in the light of. So please, accountant code and the professional ethics aim to be help them to achieve these objectives. We discuss, ethics come under the civil laws. It's not a criminal matter, and your membership can be revoked. And the organization auditors give the views about the company's going concern. The business carry on as a normal dividends and things. The auditors, and we need to be look around the remuneration, and we discuss about corporate governance in the previous lesson as well. So we need to be followed. Okay, integrity is mean honest, straightforward, honest in implied dealing, and truthfulness, objectivity, uncompromised, bias, conflict of interest, undue influence. Professional competency, maintain the professional knowledge, skill diligently, and confidentiality, disclosures of the confidential information of the personal to third party without the consent, that's, break the law as well. Professional comply with the laws and regulations and do the CPDs. Please, that's, really we need to be look around in the light of. Okay, then please we have the threats. Threats come. We need to be minimize the threats. Self-interest, having a financial interest, back-end commissions. That's can be. That's why the close family members account we're not supposed to do. That's we need to be protect. Contingent fees. If I'll say I will save your tax and you pay me half your saving of my fees, that's is a contingent, so there no condition should be we charge the fees accordingly, not according to the tax will save you. So self-review, checking your own work, please. If you maybe you work and that's is also conflict, so we need to be not because otherwise objectivity can be compromised. Either you member in practice or member in business, we have to be look around these the key points. Okay, familiarities, if you do know number of, that's why rotation of the jobs are moving at different clients. And please always use the professional judgment. If somebody offer you like a free holidays, you go, we'll pay you ticket. In that case, the familiarity, if we know each other, we become close to each other, it means we can't critical sound mind in that, and we can compromise. So always there is a no such rule, but use the lot of people says up to 50 pound worth of the gift you can accept it, but more than 50 pound worth of the gift, like £1 million gift, in the big corporation, we're not supposed to be accept, because it's not come under hospitality. It can be intimidate you in the, and that's maybe your professional reputation compromise, like in case of the Enron, Anderson, and then license. So these are the advocacy. Maybe they two clients, they are competing with each other. We need to be make sure we need to be, and if you're giving advice one, maybe you compromise others, so you have to be make sure draw. So member in practice, please, development of the leadership culture within the organization, policies and procedures, those need to be policy that identify the threat, evaluate their significant procedure that prevent, so please communication policies, and the employees, the structures and the systems, the employer own ethical code of conduct, internal control, and the quality performance, and the recruitment, and then the leadership is communicate, and the model of ethical behavior. Guys, it's a recording, and hope you can hear me. If anyone any question I like to ask, so please drop me email anjum@university.co.uk, and I'll try my best to get back to you. So the member in practice, disciplinary procedures, please following comply with the policies, engagement and the safeguard, we need to be make sure resilience on the safeguard in the client, and the opportunity to consult, with others. So that's, the key. We need to be look around International Federation of Accountant, ethical issues, relevant, establish, internal, external, and the procedure and the safeguard. Those need to be in place. So please, we have the fees. We discuss about never contingent fees based on the service or the quality of the service or the time you spend. The rate can be any because depends on the how worth of your the reputation, the goodwill. So please, reputation of the client, professional compliance, managing integrity, money laundering rules, bribery act 2006, either being bribed or bribed to the foreign national, and that's commanded. So we need to be make sure, please. We have the tender. If you're giving, the we need to be make sure the tender should be clearly advertised, and then of course, the communicate with the ongoing details and assess, independencies and assess commercial desirability of the assignment, and the letter of engagement is the responsibility, objective, relevance, interest, the take, place, and the specific planning issues. Those we need to be look around, and thus we need to be professional skepticism as a attitude of the critical assessment of the use of the questions. Please, that's, we need to be overlooking the suspicious circumstances when it happen in organizations. We have to make sure. This means, the attitude include the alert condition and maybe indicates, like if you're dealing the cash business, is a highly likely the risk involved, the cash, or the taxes are not being paid accordingly. So we have to look around the ethical standard. Editors are they give, impartial opinion, and it's important the independent of the company. And we look at the AT, IFA code of conduct, whichever awarding body you member. The fundamental principle we discuss popular people chat in offices, and these are the 5 professional code of ethics. Okay, so please, the threads we need to be draw the safeguard to minimize the thread and to the member in practice, professional appointment, second opinion always good to be, fees and remuneration, marketing, gift hospitalities, that's we need to be, and these are leads to the compromise your professional code of ethics. So you have to be draw the line and using the professional judgment, mechanism of the compliance, the safeguard, engagement, consultation, and third parties. So the evidence need to be in line. So ethical standard, confidentiality, details have a duty to the client affairs secret, explain the certain circumstances, whistleblowing concept can we keep in mind, authorize the disclosure by law, and that, don't discuss the client matters with any third party, don't use the client information to use own, don't, leave the audit file unattended, and don't, the case. So we need to be make sure in the light of, so please, there are 2 principal approaches, rule based and the principle. Ethics come under the principle based approach. So ethics come under the principle-based approach, now rule-based approach. So is the rigorous, bigger pictures, flexible, creating cultures, encourage, when we say the rules like, GDPR, Health and Safety Act, National Minimum Wage, these are all the rules, and the rule is a clear cut, correct course of action, obvious, easier to enforce, and this advantages of both approaches. We need to be look around, in the rules sometimes can be a loophole, but ethics are more than the rule itself, and but is a morally, but the problem is it can be a very individual to individual. Criminal and the civil matters. The criminal is the law that can be charged in the court, and civil is the civil matters. Please, we need to make sure those, the laws we need to be followed, and health and safety legislation, the employment protection laws, those we need to be make sure. Okay, self-regulatory accounting bodies responsible for selling, upholding the ethical standard, financial reporting standard, regulation about the accounting and the profession that we need to be. Please, we have a International Federation of Accountant, we have Consultative Committee of Accountant, we have a HMC, Revenue, and the National Crime Agency that we need to be. If you're working in the public office, this NALON principle are the key public principle: integrity, objectivity, accountability. Like, if you're a member of parliament and things as well, so you will be accountable, and you have to follow these ethics as well. Code of conduct, of course, the influence on the behavior of employee, the set procedures we need to be specifically in place. Of course, those companies have, that will help to increase their reputation, conflict of interest, and the suitable training we need to be look around in the light of. So sustainability, meeting the needs of current generation without compromising the needs for the future generation. Always think about in the business perspective, corporate social responsibility, sustainability, economics, the supporting the organization, profit, clients, and the local businesses paying the suppliers, and the social we can look around the supporting the labors, community, local events, the environmental cutting and car sharing scheme in our organization. So that's the responsibility of the finance profession, creating, promoting ethical cultures, champion in sustainability, qualifying the reputation, taking social and environmental and ethical factors, promoting sustainable rising. So we have to make sure. Okay, operational risk, please. Different types of risk. Risk is the probability. So internal fraud, external fraud, practices, promoting best practices, damages of the physical asset, and the disruption. So processes need to be streamlined, and the reputation, litigation process, all these we need to be look around, and we have to prevent. So we have physical asset need to be prevent, social reputation, political, not, and the economics. Those are quite crucial, which we need to be continued professional development. As I detailed, is the responsibility, the reporting and accounting standard, ethical code, tax and company legislation, criminal laws, and then regulations, please. We included a little video, please. That's quite good too. In your time, you can watch. That's also help you to enhance your understanding. In case of Enron, how the scandals happen, rule based and the principle based and the different perspective, and as a ethic point of view. So we have to make sure we will promote these ethics, and the ethics are the moral principles, and those are the crucial which we need to be in line with the rules and the guidance. Okay, so please, we have International Federation of Accountants, we have the asset and the practices, those we need to be. So please, I included some ACCF 8 exams and the professional code of ethics, stakeholders, and we discuss about the wider interest of the stakeholders, the key element, and we need to make sure we follow on these. Please, if you have any questions, drop an email. The next lesson is very important. Please make sure try your best to attend. Next lesson will be about assignment discussion, and next lesson will be on Saturday, 1 p.m. Please, make sure attend as planned, and have a lovely weekend. Hope speak to you all during our next lesson. Thank you. Bye bye.